What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. For today's video, I'm going to be discussing the 2019 Shelby GT500. Now, recently, Ford held an event at their headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan. They talked about future model offerings like the Bronco, hybrid F-150s, and they also talked about the 2019 Shelby GT500. They released this image of the front end, and I think it looks really good. But there's just one problem. We still don't know when it will be revealed, and we don't know how much horsepower it will make. So in this video, I'm going to do a complete rundown on the latest information on the car, and I'm also going to give you my thoughts on it. So let's get started. So let me refresh your memory. This past January, Ford officially teased the next Shelby GT500. They released a teaser trailer that showed the car from several close-up angles, but it didn't give us a clear image of what the car would look like, and the only information given was that it will make 700 plus horsepower and it will arrive in 2019. The release of this video was a huge deal, and Ford fans everywhere were so excited. Soon after the release of the trailer, talented photoshoppers began rendering what the car might look like. And even today, these are considered accurate representations. But on March 15th, Ford officially revealed the front end of the GT500. Now, before we take a closer look at the new image, let me tell you more about this Ford event because a lot of exciting news was announced. So on March 15th, Ford held an event called Ford Uncovered. The event was held at their headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan. At the event, they discussed their plans for future model offerings over the next 2 years. Ford says they have ambitious plans to completely revamp their lineup from now until 2020. Many of the journalists at the event were anticipating a sneak peek at the new 2020 Bronco. But here's what ended up happening. A covered-up Bronco was on the stage. But when Ford removed the sheet, another sheet was underneath it.
No! No! No!
Now, it's disappointing they didn't show the Bronco on stage, but on the bright side, we do get to see the profile of the Bronco. Notice how boxy it looks. It almost looks like a Wrangler. There were rumors flying around that the new Bronco would be more rounded in appearance, much like this Ford Everest. Fortunately, that's not the case, and the Bronco will indeed have a more squared-off profile, which I think looks so much better. Ford also discussed their plans to make SUVs more exciting. The image you're seeing right now is a vehicle they plan to release in addition to the Bronco. And although this is an artist rendition, it does have a neat look to it, and it appears as though Ford is going after Jeep with these new SUVs. I'll do a more in-depth video on this in the future. Now, Ford also discussed the hybridization of their lineup as well as new co-pilot technologies. But let's take a look at the new image of the 2019 Shelby GT500. When I first saw this image, I almost thought it was a fake. This car looks unlike any other Mustang made before. The first thing that really stands out to me is just how wide this car is. It makes it look so aggressive. The next thing I noticed was the shape of the grille and the openings underneath the headlights. These design elements will increase the airflow, which will be key to the car's performance. Ford has confirmed that underneath the hood will be a 5.2-liter supercharged V8, and the power output will exceed 700 horsepower. And no, this isn't the same engine found in the GT350 because this one will have a cross-plane crank. The design department at Ford did a really good job at making this car have the appearance of a Cobra. You can almost see the fangs coming from underneath the grille. And speaking of Cobras, look at the emblem in the center of the grille. Typically, the Cobra emblem is placed off to the side of the grille, but this time around, they decided to put it in the center. I personally don't mind it in the center, but I wouldn't be surprised if many owners get rid of the emblem altogether for a more clean look. Another interesting thing about this image is that the car appears to have the old style of headlights. This is something we first noticed back in January, but now that we see this image, it's more evident than ever. I don't think these headlights look bad, but I certainly think they look dated. Ford did a great job redesigning the headlights for 2018, and for them not to include the new design on the GT500, it seems like a step backwards. Other than that, I think the car has a good look to it. Now, the way I see it is that there's still 3 big questions that haven't been answered. Number 1, when will this car be revealed? Number 2, how much horsepower will it make? And number 3, what exactly does Venom kills demons mean? Well, let me shed some light on these questions one by one. So number 1, when will the car debut? There have been some rumors floating around that the GT500 will be revealed at the New York Auto Show. It would certainly be a great venue for the car to be revealed, and if you think about it, it would make total sense for Ford to reveal it there. For one, the hype for this car is at an all-time high. Ford has been releasing information about this car throughout the year. First came the teaser trailer, then the Venom Kills Demons remarks, and now an image showing the entire front end. At this point, everybody is anticipating the reveal, but whether or not it will be in New York is still a debatable question. There's always the chance that right before the show, they announce the car will be there, but it's really anybody's guess. No matter what, the car is coming and it will arrive in 2019. And considering how many teasers Ford has given us, I think we're gonna see it sooner than later. Number 2, how much horsepower will it make? As of this recording, Ford has not told us how much horsepower the GT500 will make, other than it will be over 700. It's really anyone's guess as to what the number will be, but something interesting was spotted in the latest Mustang brochure. When I purchased my 2018 GT at Mountaineer Automotive in West Virginia, they gave me this 24-page Mustang brochure. But what's interesting about it is that on page 8, we see the Mustang's digital gauges showing the car is in 7th gear going 72 miles per hour. But there's something else in this image. The odometer reading shows 74.3 miles. Is it possible that the 7th gear and 72 miles per hour represents the horsepower rating, and the 74.3 miles represents the torque rating? Now, I'm sure some of you guys are rolling your eyes, but consider this. When Ford first revealed the 2018 Mustang, the vehicle communications manager tweeted this: "Did you find the 2018 Mustang Easter eggs in the all-new 12-inch digital cluster?" In other words, nothing in these illustrations are random. They're manipulated on purpose. If we look at the image that Mike was talking about, we can see that the miles are 1964.5, which is when the Mustang was first introduced. You'll also notice that the miles till empty are 289. This represents the displacement of the first generation Mustang. And the last Easter egg is the gear number and the miles per hour number. If you put these together, you get 455. This represents the 2018 Mustang's horsepower rating, which ended up being 460 horsepower. Take it for what it's worth, but 772 horsepower certainly sounds like a possibility. Number 3, what does Venom Kills Demons actually mean? This past January, the Ford Performance Marketing Manager made the bold statement that, quote, "Venom kills demons."
Venom kills demons.
Implying that the GT500 will outperform the Dodge Demon. This statement has left people confused as to what direction Ford will take the car. Will it dominate on the drag strip, or will it be track-oriented? Or is it possible it could do both? Well, recently, a user on the Mustang 6G forum made a discovery that proves the car will most certainly be capable on the track. Here is what he discovered. A man named Billy Johnson, who happens to be a Ford Performance driver, posted the new GT500 image on his Instagram account. Johnson commented a little something that I've been working on. What's so significant about this is the fact that Johnson was heavily involved with the creation of the Ford GT, a car that does incredibly well on the track. This is evidence that the GT500 will be great on the track. But what about the drag strip? How will the GT500 compete with the Demon? At the Ford Uncovered event, it was said that the GT500 would give the Demon jitters, which is such a vague statement, but it gives the impression the Demon has something to be worried about. Maybe Ford will offer this car with different packages, one being a drag package and the other being a track package. It certainly would be an incredible feat for Ford to dominate on both the track and the drag strip. But until more information is given, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So after looking at all the latest information, I think it's safe to say that Ford is gonna shock us with this new GT500. After seeing this image, I'm even more excited to get this car. For those of you new to the channel, I recently bought a 2018 GT to hold myself over until the GT500 arrives. The latest rumors say that the car will definitely be in full swing production by 2020, but there may be a limited run of 2019 model year. So if that's the case, I would really like to get the first run of GT500s. Hopefully they don't mark them up at an extremely high price because of the collectability, but we'll just have to see what happens. You know, these next 2 years for Ford are really going to be exciting because not only are they bringing back the GT500, but they're also bringing back legendary nameplates like the Ranger, the Bronco, and that unnamed SUV. So it'll be interesting to see how these next 2 years go down. According to Ford, they are going to release a hybrid Mustang, and it's going to have V8 performance. We are in a transition phase where we're going to start seeing the muscle cars with naturally aspirated V8s taking on hybrid forms, and it's really going to be strange not hearing that burbling V8 behind you. So no matter what, we are still getting the GT500 from Ford, and we should be happy for that because it has been like 4 to 5 years in the making. So when this car does come out, I do plan to put a deposit down at one of my Ford dealers because I'd like to be one of the first people on YouTube to make videos about it and share it with you guys. I'm Neo Auto, and thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to keep up to date with the latest car news, and also consider subscribing to my Instagram. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.